Hello, hello. My name is Julie Senior, and today I am presenting on statistical data that pertains to youth depression in Utah. I obtained this discrete data from the Utah Student Health and Risk Prevention Survey, also known as SHARP, and this data looks at challenges and opportunities that youth in our community face. It is collected through a confidential survey that is given to students in grades 6 through 12 who attend public schools. And in 2023, 52,679 students completed this survey. And this data looks at several statistical categories. For example, concerning mental health, they found that 43% of youth who felt sad or suicidal never talked to anyone about it. They also found that 18% of youth seriously considered suicide. So this goes through quite a range of topics. You can visit the Utah SHARP web tool to view any category from the data collected, but for this presentation, I would like to focus on the category of depression. Here you will see a bar graph that lists depressive symptoms on a scale from high depressive symptoms, moderate depressive symptoms, and no depressive symptoms. And as you can see, the high depressive symptoms are the lowest on the graph, coming in below 20%, which increased from 2019 to 2021, but dropped a bit in 2023. Moderate depressive symptoms are the highest, ranging just above 60% of students, and these numbers have increased steadily since 2019. The next column will show you those students who reported no depressive symptoms, which has decreased since 2019, ranking in just above 20% in 2023. So what does this all mean? Youth in our state are experiencing more depressive symptoms. And why is this data so important? Well, everyone should care about this because the number of students who are experiencing depression symptoms is increasing. And these children are the future of our communities. And I believe that this data should be alarming for not just parents, but children and professionals, as well as members of our communities. The whole reason that I'm in school is to be able to work with children as a counselor, and I want to know why these numbers are increasing and what I can do to change them. And data like this can help us understand what's happening to cause these issues and develop interventions to help our youth feel supported. I also believe that this data is very credible. It is completely anonymous and confidential. It also takes into account different factors. For example, the survey is only given in the spring because they've taken into account seasonal depression that happens here. They also have revised the survey in the past to make it more appropriate for students. For example, sixth graders are given a different set of questions to be so that they are more appropriate to their level of understanding. And the survey was also revised in 2019 to make sure that the questions were not leading in any way. So the Utah Department of Health and Human Services also uses this data to prevent problems facing our youth by detecting issues before they become serious. One example of this is how Utah became the first state in our nation to pass legislation to protect children from the negative effects of social media. This also helped aid in passing legislation to stop the sale of vaping products to minors. It was also used to help educate parents, mental health professionals, and schools. It also helped to expand assistance to children throughout the state and many other benefits. Another important part of the credibility is that the questions have been constructed from several peer-reviewed research processes, and it is a validated instrument. One thing that I found interesting about the survey is that students have to opt in and also receive permission from their parents to complete it. So I wish that the authors of this data would have addressed the lack of data due to this and how it affects addressing these issues. I wonder if by asking the parents why they won't allow their children to participate, if even that information could give us insight about the lack of information from their children. Here are my references. And thank you for watching.